Hi, my name is Ashley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever been really tired in the morning, but you're not a coffee drinker? You're probably trying to find an alternative to wake yourself up, right? So let's say you took an 8-ounce glass of carbonated water, put taurine in it, which is an amino acid that occurs naturally in your body, took some B vitamins, and put them in there that's required to maintain normal body functions. And then you took 75 milligrams of caffeine. And your last ingredient, you took 27.5 grams of sugar. And what does that make? That makes Red Bull. We never really think what is in these drinks and what they do to our bodies. All we care about is getting enough energy to complete our next task. Now, I am very guilty of this because Monday through Saturday, I drink one energy drink to get up for school, do my homework, and be awake the rest of the day. Today, I would like to tell you guys about the history of energy drinks, the popular brands and the similar ingredients that are in them, and then what those ingredients do to our bodies. For the history, a man named Taisho created an energizing tonic from Lipovitan. Lipovitan is vitamins like B1, B2, B3, caffeine, and taurine. It was advertised to factory workers and truck drivers to keep them awake during their whole entire shifts. In 1976, Creatine Jing was created, and it was an energy drink. In 1980, it became really famous and hit the Asian food markets. In 1984, Dietrich, an Austrian man, went to Bangkok and was like, whoa, look at all these energy drinks, and wanted to become partners with the producers of these energy drinks. So he became partners with them and made this drink a globally known item. Later down the line, this energy drink was later named Red Bull. And then in 1997, Dietrich, he introduced Red Bull to the United States. Now that the energy drink is in the United States, let's look at some of the popular brands that we have and then the similar ingredients. Some of the popular brands that we have is Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, and Bang. The common ingredients would be taurine, B group vitamins, caffeine, and sugar. But I gotta say, not all energy drinks have sugar in them like Bang, because companies are trying to go a healthier route. And the energy drinks that don't have sugar in them, they up the caffeine amount. In a 16-ounce can of Bang, there's 300 milligrams of caffeine. The two ingredients that I would like to speak on today is sugar and caffeine because they affect your bodies the most. So sugar.org says that sugar is just a carbohydrate along with fat and protein, and those carbohydrates are categorized as macronutrients that provide your body with energy. And for caffeine, from coffee and health.org, caffeine occurs naturally in many plant species such as cocoa beans, cola nuts, tea leaves, and coffee beans. But now we know a little about the history, about the popular brands, and those important ingredients. Let's move on to how those ingredients affect our bodies. So for sugar, I'm talking about glucose and fructose. Glucose is a sugar that our body uses for energy. Our food gets turned into glucose. So glucose is good for us. But when we have too much glucose in our body, our body doesn't burn that glucose, it could cause some issues like high cholesterol and fat storage. And same with fructose. High fructose corn syrup, our body does not burn that without the extra work from our bodies, like exercise. So when it's been sitting in our bodies, it can also cause problems like cholesterol and fat. For caffeine, it increases the production of adrenaline, heart rate awareness, and the production of dopamine. Dopamine, our body produces it naturally. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It transmits signals between the nerve cells of the brain. So our body gets used to dopamine being forced to produce when we take so much caffeine. But once we stop drinking energy drinks, it'll be hard for our bodies to keep producing it naturally on its own like it used to. And I should bring in adenosine receptors, because our adenosine receptors, they are in charge of making us tired, But if our dopamine blocks it, we won't feel tired. But once we take that caffeine away and our dopamine is not blocking it, we're going to feel tired and it's going to be hard to function. Some of the side effects of having too much caffeine would be the increase of heart rate, high blood pressure, heart palpitation, insomnia, dehydration, and restlessness. But when you take that caffeine away from having so much all the time, you can get headaches, marked fatigue, anxiety, remorse, and irritability, which is not always fun to have. Now, after learning the history of energy drinks and what is in them and what they do to our bodies, I definitely will be taking a step back from them and cutting them off. But when thinking about them to health, in small doses, they are good for you. It's not that bad, but in a lot, you shouldn't have it all the time. It's not as good for you. But now that you're an expert on energy drinks, you can choose the best energy drink route for you. Thank you for listening.